Good evening, friends. I'm Dr. Ajay Shah, bringing you this another Facebook Live. This week we are talking about weight loss, how to lose weight in a simple way, effective way, and healthy way. This is segment number 5. I have done 4 segments already. So if you have not watched those 4 segments, they are available on YouTube. So watch those 4 segments. Uh, this is segment number 5. I've covered why obesity happens, what is the standard American diet, what is caloric density, what is intermittent fasting, what is fasting itself. So please watch those 4 segments. Let's start with segment number 5 now. There was a question on one of the YouTube video that if a person is eating lots of salads, what kind of dressing I recommend. So let me tell you what kind of dressing we use it at our house. We make salad with very small chopped thin salad from greens, and then we add very thin slice, very thin chopped fruits into the salad. And those fruits, including apple, oranges, berries, uh, many of the different type of fruits, uh, actually make the salad sweet enough that we don't need dressing in our salad. So we don't take any dressing in our salad. That keeps the caloric load low because many of the dressings are caloric dense. They have a lot of calories. Many of the dressings are processed food because they're made in factories. So if you can avoid dressing, that would be the ideal thing. At the same time, if you are in habit of having some dressing, then balsamic vinegar is probably the next best dressing you can use, balsamic vinegar. And Chef AJ has a video on what company you should use for balsamic vinegar. Sometimes you can just have lemon juice on your salad, and that will be enough tasty that you don't need dressing. Um, so again, in my opinion, dressing made in factories, dressing which are high caloric dense should be avoided as much as possible. So there was a question on one of the YouTube video. A person had asked what kind of salad dressings we use. I hope I answered that question. So let's continue with our Facebook segment number 5 on weight loss. I sincerely want all of you to realize that losing weight doesn't mean going on a diet. In my opinion, word diet is a wrong word. We should not be calling that we are going on a diet. Because when we say we are going on a diet, when we go off that diet, does it mean that the weight will come back? I call it changing a lifestyle. So when we are on a weight loss journey, it should be actually a lifestyle journey, not just a diet. So change the lifestyle completely. That means going on a whole food, plant-based diet. That means eating more vegetables, fruits, beans, cooked beans, obviously, and intact grains, some nuts, very small amount of nuts, or no nuts, and very small amount of seeds. Having animal products no more than 10% of your diet. That means all meat, all dairy, all fish should not be more than 10% of your diet. I myself is a whole food plant-based vegan person, but I understand some people have affinity towards certain animal products. As long as you cut down on the animal products to less than 10% of your calories, I will be okay with it. I think most data says that as long as you are 90% whole food, plant-based, no oil, you probably will be healthy and you'll be losing 1 to 3 pounds per week and will get to your ideal body weight. So again, my push is not to necessarily become a vegan. My push is to become whole food, plant-based, no oil, 90% of your calories. I myself is a whole food, plant-based, no oil, 99%, but I cannot expect everybody to be 100% or 99%. So be your own judge, but try your best not to have more than 10% calories from animal products. Uh, so let me tell you, when I say whole food, plant-based, no oil, why I keep stressing the word no oil, no oil. Oil is one of the most processed food ever can be made. Oil has 4,000 calories per pound. Oil has no nutrients. Oil has a lot of, particularly vegetable oil. Vegetable oil has a lot of omega 6. It has a lot of saturated fat. Even olive oil has a lot of calories per pound, 4,000 calories. Even olive oil has a fair amount of saturated fat. Obviously, olive oil is better than coconut oil, and coconut oil is better than cottonseed oil. But in my opinion, all oil should be avoided. If you want to have any oil, try to have very small amount in without cooking on your salad, or if you want to have just a brush the dish when you do air frying or anything like that. But oil should be avoided by all means as much as possible. Zero oil is ideal. At our house, we almost have no oil per month. We rarely have oil in our house, and that's a major change in an Indian household. If you know, many of you are Indian house has use of a lot of oil, and that's partly the reason many Indians develop diabetes, pre-diabetes, visceral fat, truncal obesity, belly fat, because oil packs a lot of calories. When you have French fries with oil, that's where those potatoes, which are very benign, becomes very, very malignant. Eating simple white potato, either oven cooked or air fried cooked without any oil, is very healthy. But when you take that potato, the same potato, and fry them and make French fries like at McDonald's and add salt, it becomes as deadly as red meat. So try to avoid oil as much as possible. Like I also said, a lot of the vegetable oils also has omega 6, and omega 6 is very inflammatory to the body. And inflammation actually is a chicken and egg type theory in terms of obesity and inflammation. Inflammation can cause obesity, and obesity can cause inflammation. So sometimes they kind of have a vicious cycle. They kind of increase each other. Obesity makes inflammation go higher, and inflammation makes obesity go higher. So taking omega 6 from vegetable oil will make you more obese and will increase the inflammation. And those vegetable oils should be avoided by all means. Next thing is we covered a topic on fiber. I keep insisting on fiber. We should be eating minimum 50 grams of fiber, and fiber only come from plant-based food. Any of the animal products, including red meat, chicken, fish, dairy, cheese, does not have any fiber, zero fiber. So if you want to have fiber, you have to eat plant-based food. A lot of the processed plant-based food have very low fiber. For example, white rice, white bread, white flour, even Oreos, even some of the cookies, even though they are plant-based, they have very low amount of fiber. So if you want to have high amount of fiber, minimum 50 gram per day, have vegetables, raw and water-based cook, uh, uh, intact grains, cooked beans, lentils, and legumes, and fruits. All those things will give you fiber, and fiber gives you satiety. Soluble fiber gives you many benefits, including formation of small chain fatty acids. So fiber definitely is a requirement if you want to lose weight. So have minimum 50 gram of fiber. I almost ask you that whenever you eat any food, if it does not have fiber, put it away. If it has a very low fiber, put it away. The general rule of thumb is that if it has a less than 3 to 5 gram of fiber per 100 calories, then don't eat that food. So if you have a bag of any food, typically I avoid processed food in a bag, but if you have any food and if there are 100 calories, but if it has a less than 3 to 5 gram of fiber, try to avoid that food. That means avoiding many of the animal products. For example, yogurt, which is considered a quote unquote healthy thing, has a zero fiber, and that should be avoided. So again, avoid food which does not have any fiber, or at least minimize the food which does not have any fiber. I also sometimes get to ask the question that is this kind of eating, is this way of eating is also necessary for people who are lean? Yes, the answer is yes. Even people who are lean can develop chronic disease, can develop heart blockage, can develop heart attack. So being lean does not excuse you from eating healthy. And many people who are lean actually still have a lot of visceral fat, particularly many of the Indian people like myself. We are not that overweight, but we have a lot of visceral fat, we have a lot of belly fat, we have a lot of abdominal fat, and even though we are lean, we still are at high risk of developing many complications of obesity. And there is a specific term for it called TOFI, thin outside, fat inside. TOFI, thin outside, fat inside. There are a lot of people who are thin outside, but they're fat inside. That means they have a lot of visceral fat, a lot of abdominal fat. So, yes, the point is even the lean people and people with the body mass index 25 or below, 22 or below should be still eating healthy, should be still eating whole food, plant based, no oil diet. So this diet applies, this lifestyle applies, this lifestyle applies to every person. So I will be asking my wife pretty soon, hopefully from tomorrow, to start doing some regular live. She has many recipes on how to cook without oil, both Indian recipes and non-Indian recipes, including many American food, many Mexican food, Italian food. So she will start showing us how to cook without oil. You may need certain equipment and instruments in your kitchen, but she will start showing how to cook without oil. Also, whenever you pick up any packaged food, including bread, including chips, including any kind of a packaged food, read the ingredients. And if ingredient shows any kind of oil, try to avoid that packaged food as much as possible. Next thing is, again, I've covered in my first segment is creating an environment. And I keep insisting that create an environment which is very healthy, which is very conducive to losing weight in your house. That means cleaning out the pantry. Hopefully you did over last 2 days over the weekend. If not, try to clean it out tonight or tomorrow where you remove everything from your pantry which is unhealthy. That means removing processed food, removing oil, removing animal products, removing cookies and candies, and removing salt. And there is a separate video on YouTube on my channel how to clean out your pantry. Please watch that video. Also, clean out your refrigerator. That means removing most of the animal products, possibly all animal products, removing all cookies and candies and ice creams, and filling up your refrigerator with fruits and vegetables and plant-based milk, nuts, and seeds. So again, clean out your refrigerator. On your kitchen counter, have fresh fruit sitting, have fresh vegetables sitting. So whenever you enter the kitchen, you reach out for those those healthy and fresh options instead of eating for cookie and candy and chocolates and other unhealthy options. So have your kitchen counter, have your dining table where you put things outside, put the fruits, bananas, apples, oranges, nuts and seeds, and fresh vegetables, carrots, and other things. So that way you reach out for those kind of food. When you come home from work and when you are hungry, you will be looking for the food in your first eyesight, and you will be eating that food. When you are hungry, your your logic and your intellectual capacity goes down, and you put the food which is in front of you in your mouth. So if healthy food is in front of you, that's a food you will eat instead of reach out to unhealthy food. So create an environment in your house, in your kitchen, which is health conducive and conducive to losing weight. Uh, Definitely, we talked about emotional eating. Emotional eating is another separate topic itself. I will have a separate video on it. But a lot of us, including myself, when we are stressed, we reach out for food. Food is one of the biggest comforting things we all have. And many times that food actually is unhealthy food. So when you have any kind of stress in life, work stress, relationship stress, financial stress, try to reach out for the options which are healthy options. And if you have created an environment, then you reach out for healthy options when you are stressed, when you have emotional eating. When you are emotionally disturbed, when you are stressed, reach out for other ways of lowering your stress, soothing and calming your emotions. That means when you are emotionally stressed, when you are stressed out, go out for a walk in the sunlight, go out for a walk in the nature, go out for a walk on a grass without any shoes and socks, sit in a sauna, uh, call a friend and talk while you are walking, watch a funny show, read a book, do meditation, or take a nap, whatever is your way of overcoming that emotional eating and stress. Please do that instead of reaching out for unhealthy food. A lot of people actually, when they are stressed, when they are emotionally disturbed, reach out for alcohol, for a glass of wine, for a beer, for a scotch, for a bourbon. That's also very unhealthy. So try to have coping mechanisms which are healthy so you don't reach out for unhealthy options, unhealthy food, and then you keep gaining weight and comes in a way of you losing weight. So overcome all emotional eating, have all the tricks and methods how you can overcome emotional eating. Also, we have covered about dairy products. I sincerely believe dairy products should be avoided as much as possible from your diet. I have a separate video on why we should not be eating any dairy. Please watch that video, and I'll be doing another live why we should not be eating dairy. If you still like some dairy, then have fat-free milk in your house, fat-free milk, skim milk in your house. Definitely avoid cheese. Cheese packs a lot of calories per pound, almost 2,500 to 3,000 calories per pound. And if you eat cheese, it will be very difficult to lose weight. So avoid all dairy, avoid cheese for sure. And if you want even small amount of dairy, have skim milk. I would avoid even skim milk. At our house, we have only plant-based milk. And even though we drink Indian tea every morning, we only use plant-based milk, unsweetened soy milk. Uh, Let me also tell you another important fact. As you go on this weight loss journey, be patient. Be patient because you'll be losing anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds per week. If you are 300, 400 pounds, you may lose 3 to 4 pounds per week. But most people who are between 150 and 250 pounds actually will be losing 1 to 2 pounds per week. You may lose only 1 pound per week, and that's okay. As long as the direction is the right direction, you're losing 1 to 2 pounds per week. Eventually, you will get to the ideal body weight. So be patient. And let me give you an example. Chef AJ, Chef AJ, one of the most disciplined person I've ever seen. All of you should follow Chef AJ. She has a Facebook lives every day. She has a YouTube channel. She has a faithful followers, more than 100,000. She has written many books. She's one of the wisest person, one of the most knowledgeable person, Chef AJ. It took her 27 months to lose 50 pounds. It took her 27 months to lose 50 pounds. So let me tell you, be patient. If you lose 1 to 2 pounds per week, that's more than enough. You will get healthier very fast. Even losing 15 pounds will get you the most health you have ever seen. So be patient. Weight loss will keep happening as long as you keep eating whole food, plant-based, no oil diet with lots of vegetables, lots of cooked and raw vegetables and water, lots of fruits, lots of intact grains like quinoa, brown rice, black rice, millets, oat groats, and other intact grains, and cooked beans, lentils, legumes, and very small amount of nuts and seeds. So be patient, please. Next thing is making it a habit of having green vegetables, cooked or raw, minimum half a pound to 1 pound with every meal. Many times we actually are not in habit of eating green vegetables during our breakfast. Sometimes we eat salads for lunch and dinner, but we don't eat green vegetables in our breakfast. Our breakfast typically is grain or fruits. So I actually wanted to make a habit of eating half a pound to 1 pound of green vegetables in breakfast, in lunch, and in dinner. So you'll be eating between 1 and 3 pounds of cooked and raw vegetables uh, between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this is a trick which Chef AJ has taught us, that have green vegetables cooked or raw for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Definitely add for the breakfast, because that's what most people don't do. So have vegetables with each meal. Same way, I also learned from Brenda Davis, another great nutritionist, great dietitian, who also has written many books. Very healthy, very fit, very lean, 60-year-old, 61-year-old dietitian nutritionist. She actually also recommends to have small amount of lentil, bean, or legumes with each meal. That means having a lentil, bean, legume with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That gives us adequate amount of plant-based protein, which is healthier than animal protein, which gives you fullness, which gives you satiety. So every breakfast, lunch, and dinner should have green, raw and cooked vegetables, and cooked beans, lentils, or legumes with every breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Uh, Next thing is having adequate amount of water. I want you to drink minimum 64 ounce of water, preferably up to 1 gallon of water every day. I have a 1 gallon bottle. I try to fill it up and I try to finish it before I go to sleep. You can do that, or you can just keep track of how much water you drink. The other way to you can decide that you are drinking enough water or not is that if you are going to the bathroom to pass the urine every hour or two, and your urine is a clean color urine, because everybody needs different amount of water depending upon what temperature they live, how much exercise they do, what is their house temperature. So you can actually judge whether you are drinking enough water or not by knowing that you are passing urine every hour or two, and passing clear urine, clear water urine. And if that's the case, that means you are drinking adequate amount of water. Uh, I will have a separate video on what are intake grains and what is intake hierarchy, but I want you to look it up. Brenda Davis video on YouTube called Grain Hierarchy. And she goes through all different kind of grains and what are the best grains. Grains are important in our diet because grain gives us the calories we need, so that way we have enough calories in a day. But it's important what type of grains you should eat. For example, white rice should be avoided. Brown rice or black rice or white rice is a better preferred option. Same way, simple oats should be avoided, but oat groats should be the ideal oat you should be eating. So again, watch the video on hierarchy of grains by Brenda Davis. Um, I will end here. I have another Facebook Live tonight. I'm doing this weight loss segment. This was segment number 5. If you like it, please share. Please share on your page. Please watch it on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like our Facebook page, Healthy Living with Dr. Ajay Shah. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Healthy Living with Dr. Ajay Shah. There are many videos on YouTube, almost 250 videos, many interviews, many videos on healthy weight loss, sleep, exercise, 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle. So watch those videos. Have your comments, have your questions, and I will answer your comments and questions in the next slide. Have a great evening. See you in a few hours. Please exercise. Please eat healthy tonight. Please clean out your pantry. Please clean out your refrigerator. Thank you.